Look at your skin. Flawless, no wrinkles. Sounds familiar? Parents, family friends, adults, telling you how young or beautiful we look for simply being a teenager. Over eons, people still have that same lust to be young and beautiful. That's what made the Fountain of Youth so compelling. For context, the Fountain of Youth is supposedly to be a river, waterfall, or body of water that promises health, beauty, and wellness from those who drink or bathe amongst its waters. But the water has been rumored to exist in many places around the world. Where? Wouldn't you like to know? In his histories, Herodotus wrote about the water, that nothing would float on it, neither wood or anything lighter than wood, but all sank to the bottom. If this water is truly such as they say, it is likely that their constant use of it makes the people long-lived. From Japan to America, even on lost islands, in Asia, in the Middle East, those who search and obsess over where to find this Fountain of Youth never seem to find it. So the story goes, at least. But it is for those who stumble across the waters and drink from it unawares. They are the ones who receive its treasures, its promises, its illusion. For centuries, leaders, armies, searching after the words of myths and legends. One myth has Alexander the Great crossing the land of darkness to see the restorative spring. It caused many people to spend their lives obsessing and thinking about this water that can turn back the mortal clock, chasing stories of towns and communities that have lived on its waters. But all of these hopes have come to a dead end. What can we discover from this? The wisdom I gained when I looked into the Fountain of Youth is how people chase over vanity, when inevitably it doesn't last and the water's effects wear off. And the person is simply just left more in need of the water and its qualities. They become dependent. A story of a man and his wife stumbling across the river in need of water. They quickly realize the magical properties while drinking. The husband drinks what he needs, and many years are turned back on his body, but he stops, full and satisfied, not wanting more, not needing it. But his wife continues to drink, so much so that she turns into an infant. This version of the myth demonstrates how everything needs to be taken in moderation. I have a personal theory. During the medieval period, when waste, ignorance, and carelessness were at an all-time high, leaders were not environmentally aware, and a city's waters were unprotected from contaminants and became dirty and unsanitary. The indigenous society generally had a great respect for their land, and they had a connection with their land, quite different to the Western world's consumption of waste.
It's not too much, is it?
Was this the reason their waters were unspoiled and fresh? Was this why food and water supplied during their explorations improved their health? Were leaders causing even their own health lower due to their misuse of their environments? Whether or not I believe this legend to be true, I do know that the stories and legends behind it hold an ethical and moral story that can be still held up today. Obsessive greed is destructive. The story talks about vanity and how corrupt and selfish humans can be, thinking that only the outside is what is important, even though the outside dies and decays constantly. Maybe the story wanted us to think that what is on the inside is the only thing that can become good, and the only thing that won't age and die. That inner beauty is what lasts, and how we shouldn't be searching for purity on the outside, and that the real importance is to search for beauty and purity on the inside.